This is the 19th lecture of the Semantic SEO course. In this lecture, we will talk about our contextual structure. Basically, the contextual structure is telling the authors what should be writing and in a what format. We have chosen this specific type of attribute and this specific type of order like population, location, because the first reason is when you put something here, someone spends by. That's why your purpose is not always creating the best possible article, but the purpose is to just better than existing competitors so we can proceed it and more in effective way. First focus on population because this is our most important attribute, and then we focus on the attribute location. We connect the population to the location because this is our first anchor context and it's very important, and there is a complete logic or math behind these things. Nothing is random. Now we create the specific type of order like population before location. That means the author write about the population before location, and also in a content brief we mentioned what format and what phrases they will be using. For example, in this case, we tell the author that you can use in this specific section this specific phrase, and in this scenario, first you can use the list definition, like the definition of list, and then you can give the actual listing. The list definition means is that you define the listing with a single sentence and then you give your actual listing. Beside the order of these specific attributes, beside the list we give some names of the entities, dates, units like Celsius or Fahrenheit, and the certain type of entities that needs to be mentioned in the specific area. Here we ask for the internet extension, the domain extension, and tell what is the execution for existing websites. And it should be in a specified how many websites there are with a relevant extension. And then we give this specific question, that is it necessary to submit an official document to get the relevant extension? Why we did not give this specific question in our contextual vector? Because the internet extension is not present in our H1 or really in our important area like our top questions. That's why once we distribute overall the contextual vector, the extra thing we add into the subsection questions. First we give an answer to our representative question, that is Germany internet extension, and then we also ask for a question for a specific context and then we give the answer. This is relevant to this. We first ask the specific representative question, then we ask the specific context question, and then we go for this answer. This is also called the consecutive semantics. We give the answer, then ask next one, but we don't ask any more question. If you keep the sections really long, it means the contextuality of the document will be changing. For example, this is your document and you talk about the Germany internet extension, this part. So that means your body is not relevant to the H1 and the overall context of the document will be changing. So that's why in our structure we share these spaces in a logical way. So that's why in our all article we give the specific space or we already define logically. If you talk about the internet section in the most of the document, that means the context is already broken. In case we try to keep every section richer than our competitor, but we don't go too much deep. So in this context, we make the things richer than our competitors, but we don't go in a deep. For a certain section like Berlin language schools, if we go to this specific article or specific section, then we go the specific contextual domain as well. In the next lecture, we will talk about the contextual connection and we see another briefs and then we will move on.